All right, we're all set. Let's do this. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm Pierre, your host, and welcome back to my studio. So, like usual, we are going to start off by going over to the computer, seeing what we did last time in the studio, and we're going to decide what we're going to do today. So, let's do that right away. So, what did we do last time we were here? Well, we added a lot of highlights to all our plants. We started off with the yellow ones, as you can see, and then we did all three of our, plants, trees, leaves, branches, whatever. So we did that, and of course we went around the whole painting doing that. We highlighted and did the outlines to our blue leaves. Again, all around the canvas, top, bottom. And then we continued again by doing these purple leaves, more outlines, and we finished off basically by adding some gold to these spider plants, or whatever you would like to call them. So that is basically what we did last time we were in the studio. So what are we going to do today? Well, we are going to continue on this, what I considered a very chaotic painting. And I think it goes very well with what's happening right now in my city of Nice, with the brutal attack that happened a few days ago, where 3 people were brutally murdered. And then my entire country, France, is in lockdown starting this morning for the second time this year. We are on major lockdown where you need an official piece of paper to leave your home, to go shopping, or to go to work. So hopefully I won't run into too many problems coming here in the studio, because I intend to be here on Monday and continue every day next week like we usually do. So anyways, I am going to look at this painting for a few seconds. I'm pretty sure what we're going to start off with is doing some highlights on the 2 yellow plants that are on this canvas, and then we'll take it from there. Probably do some highlights on the purple and blue leaves, and then we will probably put a first coat of paint on the frame. And then if we're lucky and it dries quick enough, even some shadowing to give it some depth and richness. So what are we going to do? We are going to get some black paint and get that ready to go. So there we have it, my faithful little knife. Get a little palette right here. And we are going to put some black paint here, and then we are going to just blend in some water just so we can have it on the right texture that we enjoy, where we have total control of the paint with the brush. So let's just switch over here for a second, take another perspective of this painting. Yes, there is a lot of things going on here. I am not used to having this kind of color combinations. I mean, it is, like, in my opinion, total chaos. The studio a little bit earlier and said they thought it was great. So I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder, and I won't be able to judge until it's totally finished. For example, I have no idea what's going to go here in the centerpiece yet, and I'm not even sure really what color I'm going to do with the frame. I have a vague idea, but that might change by the time we get to it. So enough talking. Let's get the right texture of this paint, and we'll do that together. We'll go on camera over there, and we'll check it out. But in the meantime, I need a paintbrush. I'm going to take a wide paintbrush, which I probably won't use, but it'll be a good brush to blend everything in. So let me just switch again to the other camera, camera number 1, as I call it, and we will do this together. I'll bring it a little closer here. I do have some water down here on my bar stool. And we're just going to work this out. Not going to be very complicated. It's just black paint and water. But you do need to, I'd like to have like a very nice little kind of a creamy texture to my paint when I paint. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Just take a few seconds, a minute or so, and we're just going to work this. There we go, just a little blending, poking. I mean, I want to keep the paint fairly liquidish, so it would go down like ink, but I don't want it to drip, obviously, on the painting, and I want it to keep its opacity as much as possible. I definitely don't want to put two coats on while I'm doing this. So, I'm just going to work this. Ah, heureusement qu'on n'entend rien au micro. Hein. Ah, c'est sympa. Ah, d'accord. Oh, pas pour maintenant, dommage. Okay. Non, c'est cool. Je préfère boire avec toi tout à l'heure. Merci, Jaman. Ça, c'est pour toi sur l'escalier. Pas de problème. Yes, man. So that was Jalil, you know, our friend who has a studio upstairs, who works on fixing and creating African instruments like djembes, balafons, koras, all these extraordinary instruments. He's also a musician. And he's played here in our studio while I was painting several times. So anyways, he just stopped in to say hello. And apparently he didn't get arrested while he was getting here to the studio. So that was cool. So, okay, I'm going to just pull the camera back a few seconds. We'll go back to the canvas. I'm going to come back to camera number 2, as I like to call it. And I'm going to have to pick the right paintbrush. So I'm going to start off with this kind of spider plant up here. This guy, am I on the right camera? Yes, I am. Okay. I'm thinking of like 3 things at the same time. And anyways, can easily get distracted. So very important for me to find the right brush. And I am tempted to go with this one, even though I have a feeling it might be a little too wide. So therefore, maybe this one would be better. So I'll start with the narrow brush, very thin and very soft as well. I'll start off with that guy. And then if it's really too thin, I'll just go to the next one up, which one? This one, I think. Is there one in between? Oh, maybe this one. Let me see. Maybe this one. Okay, so many choices suddenly. Maybe this one to start off with. It's about the same thickness as that first one I was holding on to, except it's a little longer, which means that it might hold more paint on it, which means I would be able to go a little faster, which is what I enjoy doing. I'm a lazy painter who loves working very quickly. And so let me just, again, blend in a little bit of water with the paint. It will also get rid of the water that's on my paintbrush. There, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, so let's try this. Just going to step back for a second. And I'll bring this camera number 1 over a little closer so we can zoom in and see exactly what I'm doing without me standing in front of the camera. That's pretty cool right there, I guess. Okay, very good. So I'll switch over to number 1. And I'll tackle this starting up here so I don't put my hands in the paint as I'm painting. Yes, this is definitely the right size paint brush. And the paint is the right texture as well. Just going to keep quiet for a few seconds so I can concentrate and avoid having the shakes. There we go. All right, very good. I hear there's some construction work in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. I mean, there are filters I can use to avoid all these background noises, but I don't use them. I like the background noises. The whole point of this channel is to share what's going on in the studio. That includes the noise in the street, my friends who stop by. I mean, that's the whole point of this. You know, keep it real. Okay, very good. Now just step back for a few seconds and maybe I'll just add just a little, there we go, something like that. And I'll zoom back because we are going to go down to these weird plants. And so for that, I am going to need, I'm going to need my bar stool to be at the right height. Otherwise, I'm going to have the shakes and I'm going to hurt my back, which is also fragile. So let me just bring this chair over here. I'll move the camera over a little bit to make sure that my face and especially my furry hair isn't in the way. And I'm going to work from the left to the right since I'm right-handed. And again, with that mentality of not wanting to put my hand in the paint. So, the only thing that I'm a little bit hesitant about is my paintbrush. Okay, I'm going to start off with the same paintbrush and we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to wipe it clean maybe, right on the edge. There we go. And let's continue. And this is going to take a while, so I thought maybe I could play some of my friends' music. This is Diego on the violin, Jacek on the guitar, and Lucien on. So a little bit of music while I'm doing this because it's going to take a few minutes. And it's always kind of enjoyable to work with some music. So let's do that. Let me get a little pillow for my stool. There we go. So with doing this little black outline, it permits me also to fix all my little screw-ups as well. So that's very practical. Go. So, I am just going to step back for a few seconds. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Let's continue, I guess. Am I still on camera here? Oh, yeah, I'll just move this a little bit. And we'll tackle the stems. Okay, I got a dual camera on. That's very good. Okay, I'm going to tackle the stems, and for that I think I'll just bring my chair over rather than use the stool. I think I'll have better control. And I'm just going to rinse off my brush. There we go. Oh, nailed. Okay. Okay. And kind of screw up. Ah, fuck. Okay. Fix the screw up. There we go. There. There. So, I'm just going to stop the music for a second here and see what the hell, what it looks like here. Maybe have a little sip of water. Cheers, my friends. Okay. Now what? Now what? Now what? Okay. Well, I'm going to continue on with these highlights. I'm just need to take a few seconds to think this out. I mean, this painting is like totally, whatever. I can't find the terms exactly, and I've been looking for these terms for the last week and a half. Okay, I'm going to tackle the blue leaves, and I'm just hesitating on the outline. I would have done a black outline, but suddenly I feel like trying a very dark purple outline. I mean, this painting is for me like an experimentation anyways. So why not go full out? I tried a lot of new things in here that I don't usually do, like the blue leaves. I don't think I've ever done that before. A lot of things in this painting that are kind of a little bit off key for me, but it's no big deal. So I'm going to start making a little batch of purple, dark purple, for the outline. So let's get a palette here. Okay. There you go. And most likely I'm going to use the same paintbrush, right? I would think so. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move my camera over here. Like that, you can follow me into my kitchen area where I am going to just very quickly wash this brush with some soap and water. Usually I would do this at the end of the session, but I'm doing this now because the brush, it seems to be just like the right size and length for the outline. So might as well use it. There we go. And I'll come back to camera number 2 as I put this camera back in its place and zoom out. There we go. And I'll put this clean brush aside for now. I am going to put this brush out of the way, though I might use it in a second just to get the right texture of the purple paint. So what am I looking for? My fearless little knife that I love so much. And let's get this purple together here. So I don't have that much of a surface to do. I'm just trying to figure out the quantity of paint that I will need. There, I think that will suffice right there. Very good. Rinse off my knife. It was very strange to come to the studio today because since the city is on lockdown, all the streets, all the stores, all the restaurants are all closed. Really, it looks like a ghost town, you know? Very, very strange, eerie feeling coming here. So, I'm just going to work this, get that nice texture that I mentioned earlier. Let's do this together. There we go. Not that it's that exciting or entertaining, but at least you'll be included in the process. There's a pretty purple, man. Beautiful purple. So I'm going to need some water. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring over my little jar of water here. There we go. And we'll just add a little more water. There we go. Just push and pull and squash and tug. So that's not too bad. I'm going to switch brushes and finish this part with the paintbrush that I'll be using. And I'll come right back and we'll just do these finished touches here. That looks pretty good. I think you could use maybe just one little drop of water more. I'm not sure how opaque this, I usually use this purple by adding white to it. So I'm not really sure. I rarely use it like this. So I'm not really sure how, what kind of opacity it has. And I guess we'll find that out in a few seconds. I definitely don't want to have to put two coats on this kind of work. Okay, that looks pretty nice right there. Okay, so again, I'm going to move this camera over. Like that, I will feel comfortable that I'm not standing in front of it. We're going to start with that very upper left-hand corner. And I'll try to zoom in a lot. Hopefully I won't forget to pull out the zoom. I'm going to move this chair back a whisker. And there we go. And I'm going to try this. I'm going to know right away if this is going to please me or not. So. I mean, it is so dark that it actually looks like it's black, right? And I do have the glare of the light, outdoors light, so I can't really see that well. So I'm just going to step back for a second and take a look from afar. I think the purpleness will show as it dries. And somehow it doesn't quite please me. So I am going to add just a tiny amount of white paint. I'm going to make this really obviously purple, light purple. So I'm going to just drop, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm going to use it, but I'm going to try, and I mean just a little bit of white, and that might even be too much. So I'll put it on the edge instead, on the edge of the palette, and I'm going to come in front. We're going to just do this together, like that. If it doesn't work out and I screw up, well, I can blame you. Oops, let's not skip. Let's not be too hasty and forget to put things away. There we go. Okay, so let's come on back down here. I'll move the camera back a little bit. And let's get back to our purple. And I did put a little bit of white right here. And I am just like putting the tip of the paintbrush. And I'm just going to use that. And as you can see, almost right away, I mean, there is the outdoor glare, but right away it is becoming light purple and more obvious that we're using purple. And I think I might just use that same amount again. Now we're going to do this in little steps until we have the right hue that we're looking for, or that will please the eye. So that is getting, again, a little bit more lighter, purple, more obvious. At the same time, I don't want to make it too light. So So let's go up to these leaves and let's just try this again. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a lot. And I'm just going to catch one of these like half leaves and see what that looks like this one, for example. Okay, honestly, I can't see much difference than what we just did before. So, you know what? We are going to try this again. I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. And this whole painting, anyways, has been just like... So I'm going to add a lot more white this time. There we go. Let's see what this does. We'll go over the darker purple later when we find the right tint that we want. Now that's obviously lighter, right? You can tell from the edges here where it's darker. And I know there is that, again, the reflection of the outdoor lights, which makes it a little difficult to see, but okay, so let's try it again. Come back up. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try this lower part right here. Now I can see I am getting to what I think I want. The reason I stopped is for the simple reason that I think I'm never going to have enough paint to do what I want to do. So I'm going to go back over to camera number 2, to this camera here, and we're going to make a lot more paint that I'm going to make lighter again. I think I'm going to go just with a lighter purple as an outline. So let's start with the darker purple first. There we go. I do have all these plants plus these down here, so I'm seeing the amount that I've used just to do a little bit there. I can see that I'm never going to have enough. Now, let's get that white paint in here, and we'll carefully, and I stress the word carefully, blend it together so we don't get too light too quickly. That is always my other biggest fear. So we'll do this gradually, but at the same time, I know now more or less what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to, like before, put the white on the side so we can dose it the way we want. There we go. Just checking the computer once in a while, making sure that the camera and my brain are on the same wavelength. Okay, so let's get to blending these guys in. So I'm going to use that bigger brush maybe now this time, since I have a lot more paint. I'm going to come back to camera number 1 where we'll do this again together. There we go. So I'll just pull this back a little bit. There we go. So I'm taking a good amount of white. I'm being a little bolder this time. And I am going for definitely a lighter purple, because I haven't mentioned this yet today, though I do almost in all my shows, is that when the paint dries, it gets darker. So you always have to take that kind of into consideration. So therefore, that's why I'm just going to add a little bit more white. There we go. Knowing that when it dries, it will get darker. I was just hesitant about using purple as an outline. But since I saw that would look okay, I may as well go for it. What the hell? Okay. Now that is definitely lighter. And this should do the trick. Let me see if I can. There we go. Get rid of all this excess paint on the brush. I'm going to switch brushes anyways. I don't want to waste anything. So that is definitely lighter. So I'm going to bring the camera back up again. I'm going to switch cameras so I can rinse my brush here and switch brushes and rinse off the one we're going to be using, which is darker, has that darker purple on it. There we go. And okay, and let's tackle this now. Hopefully we got it the way we want it. I'll just zoom in a little more. There we go. And let's just tackle these. We will come back and fix the ones that we've already done. Let's tackle this different one right here. Okay, well, you can see it's definitely purplish. Yes, that looks pretty good, no? Okay. Okay, so we are going to go with this. Now I guess I can put the music back on. And we are going to continue. Alrighty, very good. All right, very good. Okay, let's see now what all this is. I'm going to stop the music again, step back and see where we're at. Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, like usual, I can only paint what I see. And the next thing I see are these red gold spider plants. So I'm going to do the outline to those right now. And I think those I'm going to go with just with the traditional black that we did earlier when we did our yellow plants. I'm going to go with that, I think. Okay, so the black paint is basically evaporated. No big deal. There we go. Again, I don't have that much of a surface to cover. There we go. Let's keep the tools nice and clean. Very good. And like before, we are going to just work on this just to get the right texture of this black paint. Again, it's not rocket science. We can do this together. Why not? I'll just bring the camera over here. Switch cameras. And we can do this together. Boom. Yeah, it is kind of thick and stiff. So I see the little window in window popped up again. That is so annoying because it does that on its own. Good thing I looked up. Sometimes it just gets in the way and forces me to turn my head and stare at the computer, which I find it a little distracting. But I guess I have to do that, otherwise sometimes if I don't do that, I don't notice that I forgot to move the camera to where I'm painting, or sometimes the camera just goes on its own out of focus, and that is horrible. Nothing worse than that. And then, of course, I have this little pop-up window in window, which is very practical, but when I say so, not when it wants to on its own. So this looks pretty good. I think I need just a little bit more water. It just seems a little too thick. How's this look? This looks pretty good. Okay. Get rid of the excess. I'll pull the camera up a little bit. Where are we going to tackle? I guess we'll tackle this one up here because I feel like standing up. There we go. But first we're going to just come over here for a second and switch paintbrushes. There we go. But I am going to wipe clean the brush. I don't like having my fingers, even though they're filthy, full of paint. I still don't like to have like a sticky wet paintbrush between my fingers. So here we are. There you are. I'm just going to move the camera maybe over a little bit as not to be in front of it. And let's switch over. Go back to the music maybe. There we go. There we go. There. Ah, merde! All right, very good. Thank you, gentlemen, for the music. I think what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to do these purple leaves using that same purple that I used on the blue, on these guys. So I'm going to tackle that right now. I'm going to get this camera ready since I'm standing right here. Whoop, pull in a little zoom here. And then I'm going to turn around and check out where I'm at on the computer. Okay, I'm on camera number 2. Very good. So I'll get this out of the way. Rinse off this brush. And hopefully we'll have enough of this purple left over. Doesn't really look like it, does it? It's going to be a tight squeeze, though. If I go for it, should I go for it? Or should I make a little more? Ah, it'll just take 10 seconds to just add a little bit of purple. I may as well do that. There we go. Sometimes I hesitate. I don't know if it's out of laziness or out of stinginess. Or maybe both. Well, I'm usually not that stingy. And am I lazy? Well, I'd rather not answer. Or I'll plead the fifth. Whatever. Okay, so let's blend in then a little bit of white with this purple that we added. And hopefully we'll find the right kind of hue. I'm not going to do this in front of camera. Number one, I'm just going to do this very quickly right here. Okay. I have a I have a feeling that I put too much white in here. Which means I have to add more purple. It's okay, we can tell it's Monday. Oh no, it's Friday! Woohoo! It's the weekend. Awesome, awesome. 2 days off. Okay, now let's see what we have here. There we go. Keep this nice and dark. There we go. Just a little more water. Yes, white can overwhelm the purple very quickly. And I should have remembered that. But anyways, no big deal. There we go. We got just about the right texture, I think. And we don't have that much of a surface. Okay, so like before, we are going to try it. And hopefully we're going to like it. So let's start up with this guy here. Very good. I like it. And of course, as I'm painting that, I got something that got right in my eyeball. There we go. Be careful not to put my hand in the black paint that we did earlier. There we go. Okay. Very good. Very good. I just love painting these leaves and these borders. It's the movement when I paint and push this brush. I can't explain it, but it's such an enjoyable feeling. It's have that paint glide on the canvas. It's like, oh, that's why I always say paint if you can. I mean, you can tell I don't know how to paint, but it doesn't matter. What a pleasurable sensation. Okay, very cool, very cool. I'll pull the camera back a little bit, and then we'll go to this lower left-hand corner. There we go. I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. I shouldn't be in the way, but just to be sure, I'll move it over like that. And for that, I am going to need my chair, which is right here. And let's do this. Fortunately, I have water right next door. That's perfect. Very good. Very nice. Sometimes to paint in silence is always enjoyable as well. Very good. Okay, just a couple more leaves, and then maybe I think we'll be able to tackle the background. So let's just see where we're at. Hello, Rashid. Yes, man. There we go. Very nice. Up, up. Let's get this last leaf. All right. Okay. Step back for a few seconds. So, what does this all look like now? Okay, I'm going to have to step back even further, like back here in my hallway, to take a look at this. And this painting is just as chaotic as it was earlier. Oh, Peter, I can't believe it. But that's the way it goes. There's nothing I can do. Love it or leave it. Now, what am I going to do? I said I would like to get a first coat, at least on this frame. And now I have to kind of make a decision of what color. And actually, I've been ping-ponging between black, and today I was kind of seeing sort of like yellow. Because on the frame, of course, there's going to be shadowing and then a whole bunch of little details. So it's like almost a painting outside of a painting, outside of a painting. I got 1, 2, and 3 elements. And usually I get them to blend in pretty nicely all one another, but I don't have that confidence today with this painting to say that it's going to turn out okay. I've been honest since day one on this painting. And why? It's just because we've been cranking out these paintings since the last confinement. Last time we were on lockdown, as soon as we got out of lockdown, I haven't stopped painting. I mean, I've been streaming. I think this is our 93rd stream, maybe. So I've been cranking these paintings out like hotcakes, and sometimes you just gotta step back and ressourcer. That's French, and charge your batteries up, But anyways, I don't. Yeah. It's the end of the world. So I do have to take a few minutes and think this out. I'll grab a sip of water. That'll give me like an excuse. If I can stretch this for like 5 minutes. Slow motion. I'm tempted to go with some yellow, but since I've never done that before, I don't want to add more to the chaos. So I'm hesitant. I know if I went with a black background, I think that would work also very nicely. And the problem is, since I don't know what the hell I'm going to put here, it's difficult for me to figure out what's going to go there. So I am just going to just kind of move my camera around like that. It looks like I'm doing something constructive. Then I'm real busy. I'm going to switch angles like that. We can all look at this together. And I'm going to look at the painting on my computer, see if have a different angle gives me a new idea. So, I don't know. I'm stepping back to look at my computer from further away, so it's like twice the distance. I mean, there are already so many colors that to add more colors seems like the wrong move. Now you're going to say, do I have to make a decision today? Shouldn't I maybe sit on it during the weekend? That wouldn't be a stupid idea either. So, what do I do? We've been streaming for 1 hour and 36 minutes, and I'm kind of hesitant of what to do. And I know there's a Zen saying that says if you have to sit, sit. If you have to stand and walk, but above all, don't wobble. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm hesitant, and that's not a good sign. I have to go into doing this painting with confidence and knowing exactly what I want out of it. And I don't know right now. To be honest with you, I'm hesitant between, like I mentioned, yellow, black. Well, I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to just sit on this painting and wait till Monday. I think it's the wisest thing to do. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'll check it out at home. Probably smoke a joint or two. Think about it. Maybe when I'm stoned, some kind of an idea will come to mind. But I think I'd rather do that than screw this painting even more than it is now. At least in my opinion, it is. Even the way I'm painting these leaves, it's kind of how I painted like 20 years ago. So it's not really the way I've been painting the last few months, or last few years even. So this whole painting has kind of been an awkward little adventure for me, I have to admit. So, but there are elements in it, of course, that I will use on other paintings because I've learned also a lot. When you try new things, obviously sometimes it works, doesn't work, but sometimes it can always, end up helping you in the future for another painting or something. So, anyways, I seem to be rambling on with no point or no goal. So I'm going to just leave you like I usually do with my schedule. I'll be back here Monday unless I get nailed and I'm not allowed to go out. We'll see, because we are on lockdown again since this morning. So I'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty sure I'll be here Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you join me for that. Otherwise, I'll be here all week as well. Tuesdays will be at 10 o'clock, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, Thursday, 9 o'clock, but in French. I usually do my streaming in French on Thursday, so it's a good day to catch up on the French you used to learn in high school. And then on Friday again, I'll be here like today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So anyways, I want to leave you with my schedule, and I want to wish you all a great weekend. And as my friends on my Clash of Clan game, I'm in a Grateful Dead clan, and as they would say, let's go Bears. Ciao, mes amis.